Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Monday, October 2nd. When did that happen? 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Who will replace Feinstein? Pulling the fire alarm to catch a predator, and no more cell phones allowed here. That's all coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, Dianne Feinstein, California senator for 31 years, passed away on Friday at the age of 90. So now the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, gets to choose a replacement. He had previously promised that he would appoint a black woman to the seat, even though black women are only 3% of the population of California. And he already picked a replacement just a couple days after Dianne passed away. Now, he could have appointed himself. That's happened 9 times before. Would have given him a fast track to D.C. because, of course, he wants to be president. He could have chosen Kamala to send Kamala back to the Senate, help the Democrats get rid of the Kamala problem. There was a rumor that he was going to choose Arnold Schwarzenegger. Rumors that Meghan Markle wanted the job. But instead, he chose LaFonza Butler, the first openly LGBTQ plus person to represent California. She's the head of Emily's List, a pro-abortion advocacy group. The fire alarm went off in the Cannon House office building. Turns out it didn't just go off. It was pulled by a congressman from New York, Jamal Bowman. He pulled it. There's video. It was right before the House voted on a stopgap spending bill regarding the upcoming government shutdown, and he pulled the fire alarm. And to make matters worse, he clearly thinks you're an idiot. He said he thought he was pressing a button to open the door. No one in the history of fire alarms has ever pulled it thinking it would open a door. Sounds like he was obstructing the proper functioning of democracy. A 40-year-old Michigan man, he has 45,000 followers on Instagram. He goes online and poses as a 15-year-old girl to lure pedophiles, sort of an amateur to catch a predator. Well, he confronted a 17 and 18-year-old on Friday, accused one of them of being a pedophile. One of them pulled out a knife, the other a gun, shot him several times, killed him. He's caught many pedophiles. Officers say in one case, however, he mistakenly identified someone as a pedophile. He was wrong. In one of his stings, he uncovered a former police officer. The education secretary in England is expecting to make an announcement to ban cell phones in school. If you have kids in school, you know what a disaster this is, and they're going to ban them in the classroom and even during breaks. The education secretary says teachers say this is one of the biggest distractions they've ever seen in their entire career. Would you support a ban of cell phones at your kid's school? I'm Mike Slater, Bill O'Reilly with your message of the day. Next.
Hey, I want to tell you about Coin. That is spelled COIGN.com. It's America's only conservative credit card. Every time you use your credit card these days, you could be helping big banks give billions to liberal organizations like La Raza, BLM, the Clinton Foundation, and others. But now you can fight back. Coin offers unlimited cash-back rewards, world-class theft and fraud protection, and the ability to align your dollars with your values. Coin gives a portion of every dollar they earn to conservative charities that Coin card holders vote on. So learn more and apply for a Coin credit card at coin.com/O'Reilly. That's COIGN.com/O'Reilly. Please go to coin.com/disclosures for more information. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Monday, life is not fair and then you die. That is the cliche. But it's a little bit more nuanced than that if you live in the United States of America. Number one, our chief benefit here is a Constitution that allows many of us, I think most of us, to pursue happiness. We have a shot at putting together a life that is satisfying and rewarding if we follow the rules. You got to work hard, you got to be honest, you've got to get educated. Those are the rules, or learn a trade. If you can fix something, you're going to make a good living. Anyway, so we do have opportunity, and many of us enjoy ourselves. But the downside is very few Americans prepare for the worst. And the worst is going to happen to you. It's just inevitable. because life isn't fair, and then you die. What you have to do is anticipate illness and therefore put together a good medical team, a physician you can get on the phone who cares about you, medical insurance that you can rely on, all right? A team of people who can come over to your house should you need them. This is just one thing. You've got to anticipate that bad things are going to happen and think about how to protect yourself against those bad things. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Okay, let's get to the mail. Bruce Ludwig, Core, West Virginia. Bill, why doesn't the Republican House start an impeachment inquiry for the president based on his failure to enforce immigration law at the border? Most Americans don't want impeachment. That's number one. Okay, all the polls show that. So the next question would be, well, what's the difference with the Biden money stuff and the border stuff? Big difference. Much more personal in the Hunter Joe Biden $20 to $30 million coming in front. Much easier to understand. And that, if there's a few pieces missing, if those pieces come to light, Biden's through. He's done. In the court of public opinion, probably in the Senate. It's a much more intense impeachment than the border. Now, the Menendez bribery charge brought by the U.S. attorney in Manhattan against Senator Menendez was done, in my opinion, but I've got pretty good information on this, by Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, to deflect attention away from corruption charges at the Justice Department. So they go, okay, we got to show the American people that we're not corrupt and we can go after Democrats. So who's the easiest guy to take down? Menendez, because they knew he was corrupt 8 years ago. They know, everybody knows it. He wasn't acquitted of corruption, found not guilty. It was a mistrial the first time around. So they go into Menendez's house. They find almost $500,000 in cash and gold bars. It's a little suspicious, right? That's why Menendez went down. They were probably sitting on that for a while. But anyway, you got to be careful about public opinion with this impeachment business. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. CarShield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call CarShield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 38 years ago today, one of Hollywood's biggest celebrities died from AIDS. His death raised public awareness about the disease that was quietly ravaging the gay community. Here is the story of Rock Hudson. The Illinois native became a national heartthrob in the 1950s, his good looks earning him leading roles in both movies and TV. To protect his macho image, Hudson's off-screen gay life was kept hidden from the public. As Rock turned 50, the first cases of AIDS were reported in San Francisco and New York City. The disease was mostly ignored because it specifically targeted the gay community. Those diagnosed faced outright hostility and, of course, death. Rock Hudson was filming the TV show Dynasty in 1984 when he collapsed on the set. He was taken to the emergency room and tested positive for HIV. That, however, was kept quiet. A few months later, Hudson was hospitalized in Paris. Some media reports indicated he was suffering from cancer. On July 25th, Rock Hudson issued a press release himself, stating he had contracted AIDS and was in France for experimental treatment. On October 2nd, Hudson became the first celebrity to perish from the disease. He was 59 years old. And here's something else you might not know. Hudson's death prompted President Ronald Reagan to acknowledge the growing AIDS epidemic. Reagan, a former actor, had known Rock Hudson for decades. The president directly addressed AIDS in 1987. Today, medical breakthroughs have drastically reduced the dangers posed by the virus. During the 1980s, the mortality rate associated with AIDS was almost 100%. The average time from diagnosis to death, 9 months. Today, antiviral drugs and preventative care has reduced the mortality rate to 10% in the USA. In total, 40 million people have died from AIDS worldwide. Back after this. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.